Hey guys, Bryce Clayton here ahead of this weekend's massive clash with Brisbane Roar. It's one of the biggest games in our history and we're in the best form we have been in years.
Melbourne victory! Our boys in the terror thinks has one for you.
It's not Saturday night anymore, okay? We've got a massive game to prepare for here.
Mate, I'm never going to live that down. Just let me enjoy myself, alright?
Just come on, we're going to do a video.
Oh, we've got a video to go?
Yeah,
we're doing a video? Brisbane Roar, right?
Yes, we are.
Alright. No drumming?
Sorry about that.
Alright, show them the feature.
Alright, here's the feature for this weekend's game against Brisbane Roar. Melbourne victory versus Brisbane Roar. It really does come down to this. A game against the premiers that determines the fate of our season. Win, and we are through to the grand final for the first time in 4 years. Lose, and a long, hard season of hard work comes to nothing. Wins against Wellington, Guangzhou and Sydney FC, followed up with a disappointing result against Johnbrook away from home, which saw us bow out of the Champions League for the 4th time. Sees us in good form, which may just give us the edge over a Roar side which have had 2 weeks to dwell on a convincing loss to the Mariners, who outclassed them in every way.
Fitzgerald scores! Great goal for the Mariners!
The last 10 games of the Victory and the Roar favour the Victory heavily. Victory with 6 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses in our A-League campaign, with the Roar having only 4 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses. Based on those results, you tip Victory, but based on the fact it is on Brisbane's home turf, with us just returning from Korea, it is going to be tough. We are 1 win away from the big one, the grand final, and the Roar are the only ones standing in our way. Let's show them that Melbourne boys really are still number 1.
Here comes Scoot are going to march on to week 2 of the finals.
Wow, come on you boys in blue indeed. Thanks for the feature, Bryce Clayton.
No worries.
Of course, I am Danny Ratanapintha, and of course we're here today. It is one of the biggest weeks or fortnights that we've had in a very, very long time in our history.
You can't argue, it's massive.
How would you reflect on the whole week gone by, Bryce?
Well, it was pretty huge. We started off with the win against Wellington, 4-1 on that occasion, away from home against the team that beat us 5-0 over there last time. Shows how much our form's improved, really. Troisi with a goal, Archie Thompson scoring in the first minute, Guy Finkler with one of the best team goals I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
And obviously Millsy with the penalty after a red card to one of their players. I think it's Timms or something.
Yep.
But yeah, followed that up with a solid 2-0 win against the champions of Asia.
Mate, I mean, that's one game that I really just want to talk about. I mean, you know, we've been a bit lazy here with videos, haven't been uploading too much. We've just been enjoying ourselves too much,
exactly,
I think.
and I mean, especially with other commitments.
Of
and,
course, me on the
so
radio.
many games.
I mean, I was on the radio and I was amazing.
But we keep getting, things taken away from us. But, the one thing that they can't take away from us, mate, is our passion.
Yes, absolutely, Danny. Good on you, mate.
Well done, Danny. Sounding more like a lead singer than a drummer. Very, very well spoken.
But as for the Guangzhou game, I could have made like a half-hour feature about this game. Guangzhou Evergrande, of course, we've been through this before, one of the biggest sides in the world, to be honest. I mean, and you know, people would have doubted that prior to Tuesday's game. However,
definitely.
you see all the fans that come in. It was actually one of the strangest sights I've ever seen in Melbourne Victory away crowds ever. It was, first of all, we were outnumbered by an Asian team. But look, I mean, Guangzhou Evergrande, not only did they bring all their fans, they brought a lot of their players. Of course, Marcello Lippi, who won the World Cup with Italy. It was a thrilling, tantalising game. I couldn't believe it when we went up in the first 2 minutes. Yeah. Mark Milligan just slots in a beautiful goal. He caught the defence sleeping.
Definitely,
and of course,
that's 2 games in a row that we scored in the first 2 minutes.
Of course, yeah, that's just it. And then, of course, we held on the whole match. You know, I was saying to all my mates that we have to score again. Because you know, they're going to come back. I mean, they scored 4 second half goals in the first game.
Exactly. And that first half we did dominate them.
Yeah, we did.
Of course, but in the second half they did come back strong, and they had quite a few chances to level it up.
Yeah.
But our defence fought valiantly, really.
Yeah, well, they had Golan and Diamantis out, but they did have Elkson and Midikwi and some world-class
players. On fire, so yeah.
You can't
stop him, you know you're in for it. I mean, he had that one shot one-on-one with Ko, and that was a massive save. So.
Speaking of Ko, what a game he had.
He's had a great week, let's be honest.
The save that he's made, it really just really stamps his position as number 1 goalkeeper.
Yeah, definitely. He's unbelievable. He's hit form. I mean, dropping him was the best thing that Kevin Muscat has done, because it's really kicked his ass into gear.
Well, yeah, you don't want to just do that crappy thing that he did against Guangzhou the first time. I mean, it was a terrific performance.
And then it took one of those from Lawrence Thomas to bring him back in. And
look. What's important is James Troisi in the 91st, 92nd minute. We're getting used to late 92nd minute goals here in the Melbourne Victory Football Club. James Troisi gets a beautiful ball tapped through to him, and he just slots it home. It sent the crowd into rapture. It was an incredible match, regardless. Then, of course, Sydney FC. What a game it truly was.
That was unbelievable.
Look,
Archie Thompson gives us the lead in the first half, and of course, Sebastian Ryle, of all people.
Well, there is
the one player that he did not want to score on that side, and of course, he always pops up this season. He loves scoring as his third.
There is only one Feb Ryle. I mean, look, the guy is one of the most hated players in victory circles.
Well, you got to hate ex-players sometimes. I mean, Carlos, you can welcome him back because he was good, but Seb Ryle.
Oh no! Of course not. Not after the 13-year-old girl. We don't condone that here at the Victory.
Exactly.
Apparently, Sydney FC do. I love how we have Alessandro Del Piero in his final game, probably ever, competitive game. We boo him off and we sing to him, Alessandro Del Piero, va fangulo. Just no remorse, No. Ruining a great man's career.
You got to give him credit. He's a quality player.
Just for our Italian viewers. But no, of course, it was an incredible match. Look, Sydney FC, our biggest rival, Big Blue in the elimination final on Good Friday.
Oh, that was huge. And of course, Guy Finkler steps up in the 92nd minute. How often has he done that? Or how often has Victory done that this season?
Yeah.
It was always the opposite way the last few years. Like, we were always conceding late goals. We 1-0 up and it would be back to 1-1, or we'll concede that losing goal. But this season, time and time again, Guy Finkler, that free kick against the Wanderers. Barbarossa scoring late against Adelaide. I mean, against Guangzhou, James Troisi pops up, and now Guy Finkler again. There's just been that many occasions, and it's really good to see that we're actually closing games out well.
And rumours are coming through, of course, that Guilherme Finkler is going to sign again for the next season.
Yeah, which would be really good.
Also,
huge for the club.
Also, Pablo Contreras might come out of retirement and play for bottom dollar. You just told me that last night, but
I know.
That'll be a bit interesting.
Who knows? It's only speculation at the moment.
Of course, with Berthat Barushi coming in, and look, I mean, I'd love to keep James Troisi.
It'd be great to keep him, but I mean, with the form he's in.
Look, in my opinion,
you got to be considered by something like Atalanta.
This is what's going to happen. And Juventus, he's also signed to Juventus.
Exactly.
But this is what's going to happen, in my opinion. James Troisi is going to play out the season with us. He's only got a few more games left. He's going to, of course, return on loan to either Atalanta or Juventus. But not only that, Ange Postecoglou and Mark Bosnich, everyone's sort of agreeing that, he's our greatest player that Australia has at the moment.
And yet he can't get a game for Australia.
Ange.
Give him a go.
I think Ange has always known what James Troisi and Archie Thompson are capable of, and I think that's why he hasn't picked them. I still think with so many retirements and omissions for the World Cup, Archie and a few senior boys can still make the World Cup, but specifically James Troisi.
I think James Troisi has to. If he misses, he has to. He has to make the squad.
It's not only that.
He has to at least make the squad. He deserves it more than anyone that I've seen. I mean, maybe bring up Adam Taggart. Adam Taggart deserves to be in the squad as well. But Adam Taggart and James Troisi, imagine that strike force with Rogic in behind at the World Cup.
I'd start
that's an exciting prospect. We won't do much this World Cup, but thinking in the future, next World Cup, the World Cup after, it's exciting to
Well,
see.
yeah. I don't want to see Tim Cahill playing striker. He's a central attacking midfielder. You know, play Taggart and Troisi up front. That'll be an incredible combination.
Really
yeah, look, that's what we can do. You know, I swear, James Troisi is going to nutmeg Casillas just like he did Michael Theo against Brisbane Roar, and hopefully he does that this weekend against Brisbane Roar.
Yeah, we need a repeat of that.
Of course, but of course, let's go back to the pre-game march. Of course, you were there. Of course, I was there.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was an amazing atmosphere to show how big the Melbourne Victory Football Club can truly be. As a North Terrace goer, you know, that's pretty much what I live for, mate. As an outsider, and you actually participated in the march, what did you make of it? A lot of negative portrayal from the media has been given towards this march. There was nothing wrong with it.
When isn't there negative portrayal?
Oh, when isn't there?
Over soccer fans in general in Australia, football fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
football
I just
hooligans,
feel like
bro.
I feel like
you know, you're the Maltese hooligan.
Anyway,
they come down to our city, bro.
These kids, they come down to our city and they f***ing us. What the f***? I'll tell you what I'm going to do next time you come down here.
What are you going to do with that? What is that?
I'm going to mate. I'm going to
That's a butter knife.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, you know, you feel like you have to call it soccer because everyone in Australia seems to call it that, which is really frustrating. It really annoys me because it is the real football. But yeah, no, the march was really good, and your drumming was quite spectacular.
It was pretty special, man. I just look. I mean, the whole experience was magical. Of course, we will upload a video over the coming 24 hours of the full highlights of that amazing march. A few inside stadium activities as well. Of course, it wasn't as active within the North Terrace inside the stadium.
Yeah, not really.
That was
a bit disappointing.
Yeah, no, that
I
was.
mean,
It was because of everything, all the restrictions. I think I said it on SEN afterwards, before the game. Megaphone was taken off our mate, the Capos, senior members, and of course, Tuna, the old BWB Capo, who used to lead the NT, was there, but he's not been leading it since the Blue and White Brigade controversy at the start of the season. Of course, Tony, unfortunately, can't be making any more appearances. I believe he's been banned or something. So, look, with all these setbacks, along with the initial restrictions and measures that they applied at the start of the season, it was always going to be difficult. But I said this on radio.
I still think that it was when Guy Finkler scored that goal. I've never engaged in such a celebration.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
I didn't care who I was hugging. I had to hug someone.
You hugged Brenton Ray. I mean, that says a lot.
Love you, Ray, man.
Yeah. Oh God. But look, man, it was an amazing time, and of course, I played Tafisi all the way out through the hallway, going absolutely nuts on the drums. I mean, I couldn't honestly. I don't think I've ever had a better moment as a football fan. I've been through a lot. I've been to so many amazing matches. You know, the Perth Glory elimination final.
That was very good as well. But I think that this one outdid it.
Maybe even outdoes the Melbourne Heart Derby. Just because, I don't know, it was a final.
It was against Sydney FC as well.
Yeah.
It made it that much better.
It was absolutely incredible. And
definitely.
Yeah, I just can't describe how amazing the entire night was as a whole.
Exactly. And, of course, that leads us to this weekend. Winning that game, Brisbane Roar, Suncorp Stadium, 5 p.m. this Sunday. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well,
can we beat them is the main question.
Brisbane Roar have been, of course, the absolute top side all season. 52 points, 10 points ahead of the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Last 10 games in the A-League, we've won 6, we've drawn 2 and we've lost 2. And the Brisbane Roar, they've won 4, drawn 3 and lost 3. So we're in better form when you look at it that way.
Of course.
It's at Suncorp, so you got to give them... You know, they're obviously going to be favourites. We're coming back from Korea. It's going to be difficult. But, we're going to have Troisi and Milligan rested up. Rogic hopefully coming back in. Finkler, obviously not eligible for Champions League. So, we've got some players back here who can perform, and hopefully the boys can pick up the points.
Of course. Now, let's go over all our recent games. More specifically, the John Book Motors games. Let's now have a look at the highlights from the John Book Motors game.
Running after this, he will definitely get to the ball, keep it in place. He didn't have time to look up and spot someone, which was Leonardo, I believe, coming from the far side. And superb technique by the Brazilian, almost keeping it down and keeping it on target. Let's go! Leonardo managing to just bundle his way through. The cross is not a bad one. The shot is on! He just goes screaming over the bar.
Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit again.
The corner played outside. Have the confidence to take it first time, although the shot was on target and passed away by the goalkeeper. John Hill. This is right up. well.
My skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on.
The space in there, giving it away. Lee Dong-gook deciding to chip the goalkeeper.
Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds.
Great improvisation by the talisman.
Trust me,
Lifts it in the air, it has to be defended. Connor Payne keeps it alive. Is it offside? The finish was poor. Was there an offside flag? Archie Thompson should have thumped that one, but instead he tried the lob over the goalkeeper. Corner situation. Are we going to get late drama right here in Korea? Not yet. It is all over now. John Bukinde Mortos who go through now with 8 points, just behind Guangzhou Evergrande, qualifying second in Group G with a 0-0 draw.
That's just it. Now let's go over some of Brisbane Roar's recent results over the past couple of months. Well, let's start with, well, first of all, they lost to, they had 2 losses in a row. They started to get comfortable on the top of the ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And they sort of decided to slack off a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
they're thinking they've got the...
Look, I mean,
championship,
of course,
wrapped up.
I believe they got a 1-1 draw with the Western Sydney Wanderers. That's away in
they
Piers
did.
Stadium. You know, it did show a lot of promise from Wanderers. I mean, they are a top side as well.
They are a top side, and it's disappointing that they stole a second spot off us. But
Oh,
anyway.
well, that's the thing. I was at the Hart Wanderers game, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, for a small while, I did start to cheer for Hart because we needed their result.
No,
We needed
exactly.
that
I was
result.
cheering for Hart as
But
well.
it was also a bit of a.
You know, we wouldn't have witnessed the amazing game against Sydney FC if we didn't have that.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, that's true. But I did want the second
butterfly
spot.
effect.
Absolutely, yeah. But
Hopefully, this results in us winning the
yeah.
grand final. So.
At the same time, I also went down and joined the RBB and started a bit of. It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I mean, when they sung their song, I was doing the Swift and Shift song, so it was a lot of fun, anyways.
Yeah, of course. About 10 rounds ago or so, they had a little bit of a dry spell there. They lost to the Newcastle Jets at home,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they obviously lost to Hart in Melbourne.
Orlando Engelar,
Yeah, Orlando Engelar.
get the hell around him.
Please come to Melbourne.
He is in Melbourne.
Yeah, to victory. And then, of course, they followed that up with 6 games undefeated, beating, of course, the Perth Glory, followed by Adelaide United, drawing with Sydney FC. Thomas Broich and Barasat Bruce are getting a couple of goals there.
Well, of course. I mean, Thomas Broich and Bersat Barisha have been absolute superstars all year. They were the only 2 guys to really link together a formation against Manchester United in the All Stars game. So, yeah, Barisha has been incredible. Of course, he's picked up 3 red cards and he's coming to the Melbourne Victory next season.
Hopefully he can get his emotions in check.
Leave those cards at Brisbane Roar and
definitely.
bring the goals to the Melbourne Victory. Imagine that. Archie Thompson and Bersat Barisha up front would be an amazing combination.
Costa Barbaros up there as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's
James Troisi as well, just to reload him maybe. That'd be great.
But yeah, and then the Brisbane Roar, of course, they beat us.
Oh.
Luke Bratton's 92nd minute goal against us, that was pretty hard to take.
Broke our
I
hearts.
mean, we're talking about us scoring 92nd minute goals and 90th minute goals and whatever. Yeah, that was pretty hard for us to take.
Well, you know,
Thought we'd got a draw.
what goes
against
around comes around, I guess.
Premiers, but that's all right. Get that one out of the way. As we've seen with Sydney FC, we didn't beat them all season and came up and beat them in the finals. Hopefully it's the same with Brisbane Roar. Of course, we had that round 3 win.
Yeah,
but
that's just it. Yeah.
We can do that as well.
Players
And
to
then-
look out for from the Brisbane Roar, in my opinion. Dimi Petrados.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, Dimi's been incredible all season. He's a solid performer for the Brisbane Roar.
Yeah.
Not only that, Enrique. He's sort of been underestimated over the past couple of seasons because he hasn't been in the starring role like he was
I mean,
in
he scored
previous
the
years.
winning penalty in the grand final. And
Of course, you can't
that's
forget
a real
that.
moment for them. But
Yeah. But of course, Luke Bratton, Miller, Franjic, Broich. It's a star-studded side.
Yeah, they
a lot
are.
of them will
And
probably make the
you-
All-Star squad.
No one would have even heard of Bratton early this year, and all of a sudden he's popped up and he's scoring goals from 30 odd yards.
Yeah, dude with a mustache.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Got to respect him. He's a pretty good player. And of course, they followed it up the last game of the season, a loss to the Central Coast Mariners.
yeah.
I mean, that's going to be hard for them to take 2 weeks dwelling on that loss, and of course, us coming in with really good form.
Yeah, well,
So-
Fitzgerald and Caceres combined there in just about a 4-minute period to take them down. Caught Brisbane Roar off guard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is sometimes it's better to keep playing and continue your form rather than having that long gap. I mean, yes, you want that week off. You want to finish in the top 2. You want a Champions League position.
Yeah.
But when you got that form flowing, there's a good chance you can knock off a team like Brisbane Roar.
We want as many people to get out to this game as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
We got hundreds, maybe even up to 1,000 last time. We got a lot of people. We have decent away support. It's nothing compared to maybe what it used to be because of what's going on with the club and everything. And of course, what the RBB doing, they do it pretty well because we have all the restrictions and crap like that. But look, it's the biggest game that we've had in ages, mate.
Yeah,
the biggest
definitely.
2 weeks and possibly 3 weeks. That we've ever had. But imagine the grand final, right? I'm personally picking Wanderers victory. I don't have any time for a team from Gosford. Like we went on when we were taking a train up to Newcastle for the Jets away game. I saw Gosford. I saw the stadium. It was just a bunch of bloody palm trees. I was hanging out with the guy, right, who actually stabbed the sauce bottles. We know him.
Yeah,
we know that guy. He coincidentally tried to carjack someone, but that's just something on the side. I don't have any time for Gosford, mate. They're good team, but they're only doing well in the competition because of salary cap. Let's be honest. What the hell is a Gosford? I've never even heard of it. Bring in Wollongong, bring in Auckland, bring in all that.
That's the topic for another day, Danny. Anyway, it's a huge game this weekend. Hopefully we can knock them off. I mean, incredible form leading up to it, and it's one game away from the big one, the grand final.
Oh.
And I'm sure everyone will be eagerly
But, mate,
waiting to see if we make it because we'll be heading off to Sydney. And
everyone's going to book their flights
and their tickets.
I'm going to be disappointed with anything less than 5,000. 5,000. Come on.
It's a big ask.
ANZ Stadium.
I reckon we could.
ANZ Stadium, Australia Stadium, where John Aloisi scored that penalty. You know, where the Olympics were held. The Olympic Stadium, it's one of the biggest grand stages from all shitty Allianz Stadium, depending on stadium issues. But still, imagine the incredible day that it will be. Imagine the day. Melbourne Victory versus the Western Sydney Wanderers. The North Terrace and South Terrace and all the travelling fans combined versus the RBB, the Red and Black Block. On one side, you've got, RBB, ale, ale, ale. The other side, well, just take that from me. Da, da, da. No? Melbourne
Not
Victory. No?
No.
Oh, boys in blue.
In all honesty, it would be a great grand final. I mean,
This is my drumstick.
there's your drumstick.
The terrorist thing.
No, you're losing them. But yeah, anyway, so that would be a great grand final, but we've got to get through this game first.
Yeah,
and,
of course the Wanderers have to get through the Mariners, unless...
Exactly.
Because if it's the Mariners on one side, it'll be Melbourne Victory, on the other side, it'll be...
Anyway, thanks for joining us today, and we'll make sure to do another preview next week if we make the grand final.
When we
And
make
of
the
course,
grand final.
Yeah, when we make the grand final.
Of course, big shout out to Ross Johnson, who we had a chat to at the pub. Of course, he's very honoured to speak to me and myself as YouTube celebrities, as he described us, and we're just two blokes talking into a camera. But no, it's always great to have a chat with viewers and everything, and of course, MKD designer, of course, Michael Romas, so he did our cover photos just for, shits and gigs.
Yeah, he's quality talent.
He's a good lad, just a 15-year-old kid from Adelaide. So, big ups to everyone that supports us and subscribes to us. We just went over 200 subscribers. I'm pretty happy with that. We also have
that's pretty
8,000.
good. And of course, we just passed 8,200 likes on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get it going more because we've got some prizes coming and I've got a pretty big one coming. But yeah, I really think we can beat the Roar this weekend. And Danny, what's your opinion on Danny?
Da, da, da.
I've been Bryce Clayton, that's Danny Ratanapintha, and we'll see you next week for the grand final.
One for you.